Weeks passed after Lyra's escape, but the haunting whispers of Station Epsilon followed her wherever she went. The stars above, which had once seemed so vast and full of promise, now felt cold and indifferent. The vast silence of deep space echoed in her thoughts, reminding her of the horror that still lingered in the void. The events aboard the station were now a legend, told in hushed tones among those who traveled the farthest reaches of the galaxy. But for Lyra, the story wasn't over. She couldn't shake the feeling that she had only scratched the surface of the mystery. She had left the station, but the whispers still called to her, tugging at her very soul. She couldn't rest. There was more to the legend of Epsilon, more to the beings who had taken her crew. She knew it was only a matter of time before she returned, and so she did. Lyra found herself back at the edge of Station Epsilon, her ship floating silently against the backdrop of the dying star. The once gleaming structure now looked like a decaying tomb, a monument to ancient, forgotten powers. The blackness of space stretched infinitely around her, a void that seemed to whisper its secrets only to those willing to listen. But Lyra was no longer the same. The shadows of the station had followed her, whispered to her in ways that couldn't be explained. Her resolve was stronger, but so was the sense that something was waiting, something ancient and powerful that had been disturbed. She docked her ship once more, the station's airlock opening to reveal the familiar sight of the cold, sterile halls. The lights flickered, but now there was no fear in Lyra's eyes. She had returned with a purpose. She had come to end the nightmare, to uncover the truth that had been hidden beneath the surface of Station Epsilon. The station was just as she had left it, silent, still, and shrouded in mystery. But this time the whispers were louder. They came from the walls, from the very structure of the station itself, as though the station was alive. Lyra's footsteps echoed in the empty corridors, her mind racing with the knowledge that she wasn't alone. The thing that wore the skin of her crew members was still here, waiting. As she made her way deeper into the station, she felt a chill in the air, colder than before. The lights flickered again, and the shadows in the hallways seemed to dance, growing ever larger. Lyra didn't flinch. She knew what she had to do. Her journey took her back to the ruins beneath the station, the place where it had all started. The artifacts that had once seemed so benign now radiated an ominous energy, and the stone tablet, the one she had first touched, was still there. It pulsed with the same eerie glow, as though it recognized her presence, as though it had been waiting for her return. The whispers grew louder as she approached the artifact, their words becoming clearer with each step. "Join us, Lyra. Become one of us." The voice was familiar, like a blend of the crew members' voices, but distorted and hollow. It wasn't them anymore. It couldn't be. But Lyra had no choice. She reached out, her fingers brushing the surface of the tablet. The moment her skin made contact, the world around her seemed to collapse. The shadows twisted into shapes she couldn't comprehend, and the walls of the station began to pulse with a rhythm that matched the beat of her heart. For a brief moment she saw it, an image in her mind's eye, a vision of the beings who had once inhabited the station. They were not human. They were creatures of shadow and light, their bodies made of swirling energy, their faces hidden behind masks of ancient knowledge. They had lived for eons, and they had learned to wear the skins of those they encountered, to take on their identities, their memories, their souls. As Lyra's vision blurred, she felt her own identity slipping away, as though the station itself was trying to claim her. But she fought against it, her will stronger than the whispers. She had come to end the nightmare, not to become a part of it. With a force she didn't know she had, she pulled away from the tablet. The station trembled as though in protest, but Lyra was determined. She wouldn't let herself be consumed by the darkness that had taken her crew. The shadows around her shrieked in agony, their forms breaking apart as if unable to hold on to their stolen skins. The air was thick with the energy of ancient beings fighting to remain in the material world, but Lyra stood strong, her will an impenetrable barrier. The station groaned, its walls cracking and shuddering. Lyra knew it wouldn't last. The artifact had been destroyed, its power broken. The whispers ceased, and the station began to disintegrate, collapsing in on itself as the ancient beings were forced back into the void from which they had come. But even as the station fell apart, Lyra felt a final pull, a whisper, a call that promised the return of the darkness. She had destroyed one of them, but there were others out there, waiting. And so, the legend of Station Epsilon continued, a tale whispered in the dark corners of the galaxy. It was a tale of ancient forces, of lost civilizations, and of a hero who had fought to stop them. But it was also a warning, one that would echo through the stars, a reminder that the darkness never truly goes away. Some say that Lyra still wanders the universe, seeking out the remnants of the dark forces she fought, determined to stop them once and for all. Others say she has become one with the shadows, a part of the legend herself. And so, the story of Station Epsilon endures, a cosmic mystery that will never truly be solved. A tale of darkness, of light, and of something that wears your skin.